Hey sports fans, Coach Nick here, and welcome to B-Ball Breakdown. I want to look at last night's really exciting game between the Charlotte Bobcats and the Philadelphia 76ers. Gerald Henderson came to play and single-handedly won the game for them with his shooting and a little bit of defense. I want to show you some of the decisions that the coaches made and the fundamental breakdowns that led to the loss for the Sixers and how the Bobcats were able to hang on and take this game. The Bobcats are up by 3 with 5 minutes to go, and watch DJ Augustine as he turns his head and doesn't watch Drew Holiday cut to the lane. Luckily, the pass and the catch is fumbled and it's a turnover. After a missed 3 from the Bobcats, they come back down, don't really run offense, just screen and roll with 4 flat, and Iguodala hits a really tough shot from 20. The Bobcats, however, are going to run a little team offense and have Henderson curl around a screen and knock down a great jump shot that he's probably practiced 1,000 times. Watch Elton Brand. He needs to step up here and help out, and then Iguodala would come over and help out on Brand's man. You can't let this happen on the road in the fourth quarter. The Sixers do get into a team offense by running the triangle high post on the right side, and I can guarantee you that Brand is supposed to pass the ball to Holiday and then screen for him. But Augustine does a wonderful job denying that pass because they've scouted that play, and all they have left is Brand attacking Diaw in the post. Watch how Wallace is going to help out inexplicably. They don't need that help, and then as a result, Thaddeus Young is going to get inside position and get a tip in. There are little plays like that that really help you lose games. For every play you have, there's always some sort of cause and effect. As Augustine drives, he's going to set some sort of half screen, which forces Thaddeus Young to guard him. The Bobcats don't take advantage because they take a bad shot on the outside, but watch what happens here. Now Augustine has to guard Thaddeus Young in the post in transition, and Young goes right to the basket, gets a shot, and then tips it in. Charlotte does try and run some more team offense where they ultimately will try and get the ball to Jackson on the pinch post. But the pass is late. Iguodala can come over and get a really nice deflection and near steal. But after this, there is no other counter. There simply is no offense, and Jackson takes a horrible shot off of 1 foot that misses, and a tip does too. The main reason why these two teams have losing records is from fundamentals, or lack thereof. You'll see that Iguodala will get up in the air to try and make a pass, which is a mistake. They tip the ball away, and when you watch, Augustine will get a spin move done on him, but he doesn't finish the play. He doesn't try and box out his man, who gets right to the basket and just about tips it in. Luckily for the Bobcats, the Sixers knock the ball out of bounds, but this is not winning basketball. The Bobcats try to run their offense with Jackson coming around a down screen. Watch how Drew Holiday comes over to help out in that drive and stop the play, and there's nothing else for the Bobcats to run. It's a real problem when you have no other counter, so they have to rely on Jackson spinning in the lane against 2 guys and making a tough shot. The Sixers run a nice out-of-bounds play where Lou Williams is going to come around against Henderson on a double screen in the weak side. Watch how Wallace is going to switch instead of just showing until Henderson can get back on him. That causes a mismatch down low, Henderson on Thaddeus Young, and Thaddeus Young will do a drop step and score. The Bobcats are back on offense, and you'll see Elton Brand raise his hands. It's not because he just saw Rocky, it's because he's giving a lane for Lou Williams to slide in there around that screen for Henderson. However, what you can't see is that Steven Jackson's also screening, and that slows down Lou Williams enough where they get the open shot and he knocks it down. The Sixers want Lou Williams to run the point here and do a play, but watch how Henderson takes that pass away and completely bogs down the offense. Now Drew Holiday has to come across the top, and basically all they have time for is a screen and roll, and the shot clock's running down, and Drew Holiday burps up a bad shot. Rather than run a nice clever set on offense for Charlotte being up by 1, they're simply going to go to Jackson in the post and wait for a double team, which comes from Iguodala. They rotate out of this, and that's okay because you'll have Iguodala guarding Henderson, not a bad matchup for the Sixers. However, Brand is going to be a little slow getting over on that screen, and he's in his face though, but Henderson's too hot. Down 3, the Sixers are going to run a 2-man game, which I would prefer to see some weak side screen or some movement. They're going to hit Brand in the low post, who doesn't really get much, so he's going to kick it back out to Iguodala. And here, inexplicably, he gets fouled in the face by Henderson and gets 3 free throws. You'll see there is a little contact on the shot, but it's clearly way after the ball has been released. But you got to give that call to him when he gets hit in the face as a shooter. They don't capitalize by only hitting 2 out of 3 of the free throws. So when Charlotte comes back down, they're going to run, this is not a replay folks, the same play with Henderson coming around a double screen. This time Evan Turner is making a surprise appearance in the fourth quarter, but watch how Steven Jackson gets in the way. Elton Brand puts his hands up but doesn't step out to help, and he nails the jumper that ices the game. So here the Sixers are down by 3 with 26 seconds to go. They don't go for 3, they go for 2, but it's not a quick 2. They waste 12 seconds before the shot goes up on a pinch post play, and then they let Iguodala go around and catch the ball into the lane. This is way too long to try and get a 2-point shot off. I thought about that play a little bit more, and I'm realizing now there were 11 seconds to go. So let's pretend they made that 2-point shot and they're only down by 1. That means that they can, at worst, be down by 3 with 11 seconds to go, taking the ball at half court, and they could try and get a 3-point shot to tie the game. I still think you'd want more time because you could tie the game, you could foul, you could try and win. I don't know. There's a lot of things you can do there, but not the worst play in the world. However, you can see that there was definitely a breakdown in team play and fundamentals that leads to a loss. And both these teams were doing it, so it's almost a matter of who's going to sort of be the last guy standing. Well, thanks for joining us on this quickie last 5 minutes of the game from last night. Stay tuned for a lot more on B-Ball Breakdown. B-Bull Breakdown's coming up too next week, and also from Heat Breakdown. Because don't forget, it's not a channel, it's a conversation.